Hello, hello. Muy buenos dias, continuous liners. Megan Burns coming to you live from the streets of San Miguel de Allende. I'm in the arches. Yeah, and I just got my beautiful latte. You know what I love about this latte is it has an eye on it, and it kind of reminds me of my logo. Look at that. I see you. Hello, I see you. Muy delicioso. El primer sabor, prueba de mi café latte. Aquí en el centro de San Miguel de Allende. All the trucks are here dropping off steaks and wreaths and coronas. And so I'm checking in with you to do my continuous line warm-ups, right? Here on this Monday morning, March 25th. I just saw the horrendous news that I'm not even going to talk about it. Anyways, I'm here to do my line, my line warm-ups, and that's what I'm going to focus on, right? I mean, there is just something about this slime bucket who keeps getting slimed, keeps getting a free pass, right? Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. Had a really good weekend. I cooked out in the campo with friends. We made beef cheeks. I made beef cheeks from the cañada. We had chicken, we had vegetables, and we had a whole little comida thing out at the ranchito where there's a zebra donkey called a zonky and a little quarter mile. What are they called? Quarter horse. And yeah, I had a really nice time. San Miguel, good time out in the campo, right? Beautiful moon rising, sunset, the whole deal, right? Like, I sometimes get a little frustrated with San Miguel. It feels like a small town, and I'm like, there's nothing to do. But there's things to do. You just got to be crafty about it, right? You just got to like do your own thing, right? Anyways, I'm going to jump right into doing my continuous lines. You know why? Because they help to keep me centered, and they help me to stay focused on the things that I want to stay focused on, right? Like making art, growing my community, encouraging others to tell their stories visually, and you know, just kind of being sovereign, right? I think the word sovereign, people always think of the Royals. Don't get me started on the Royals either, because that's a whole nother cluster bucket. Oh my God, completely AI. I mean, if anything, that whole saga, the whole thing with the princess and everything like that, it is going to be, I mean, yes, there's the saga of the Royals, and who cares about that? I mean, they should go away, right? So it's not even about that, but it's the whole subject of AI and how they are continually relying on AI to like eke out their little very manipulated stories, right? So I think in the broader sense, it's a statement on how AI is going to be a part of our lives moving forward, right? Because we're never going to know, is that really someone? Did they really say that? Or has it been manipulated, right? And not just the Royals, that's going to apply to like everything, right? Like it's the the person who just walked by was a person that whenever they see me doing this, they go, oh. So it's one of those tests. I have to like, and honestly, I think I passed the test because I don't care. I think in the beginning when I started doing my live streams, I would be affected by how I thought people perceived me. Like, oh my God, there's one of those idiot influencer type people. I'm not really an influencer. I feel like to be I mean, I guess there's a couple different ways to look at the word influencer, right? Because there's the people who are being paid or making a living being an influencer, speaking about other brands, promoting other brands. I'm not really doing that. I've been asked once or twice to speak on behalf of a brand, And I like to do that, but the thing about that, when you're being paid to speak on behalf of a brand, you have to tell what's the word? I don't want to compromise myself, but it kind of dilutes one's sovereignty, right? Because I have to be like, this is the greatest pen in the world. Now, truth be told, I may actually believe this is the greatest pen in the world. And by the way, the Bic ballpoint pen is the greatest pen in the world because it's economical, it flows well, it goes nice on copy paper. And for this portion of my practice, I like to use an economical and easy flowing pen on my copy paper that I bind into a little book, so I have a separate book just for my continuous line warm-ups, right? So there, I actually just spoke the truth about how I feel about Bic pens. Now imagine if this were a pen company that I didn't like, and they said, here, we'll give you $12 million if you tell everyone how great it is. And you go, oh my God, $12 million, I'll take it. And then you have to cross your fingers and go, yeah, this is a really great pen. I really like it. I hope you like it too, because it solves all my problems and it has put Donald Trump in jail. So there we go. Is anything going to put that man in jail? I doubt it, right? I doubt it. That guy, hopefully, I hope his health takes him out, because the justice system won't take him out. So I hope his health takes him out. Anyways, not good to wish ill will on anyone, but come on. Come on. All right, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I was talking about being an influencer, right? And so I have been hired, I think twice now, to be an influencer, and it's cool. And I hope I get more opportunities to promote products that I believe in. So I don't think I'm an influencer in the sense that I don't have a lot of followers. I have some, and I'm very grateful for those that I have, right? Like I'm not kicking to the curb the ones that I have, because I'm very proud of the followers I have. I am a little surprised at how low my numbers are, because I think I put really good content out there. I do. I'm very proud of my content, and whatever, I feel like that sort of stuff comes when it's supposed to come. And if it were easy, and if there were a formula to be rich and famous off of your own content, well, I think a lot of other people would be doing that. But the truth of the matter is, it's hard to be an authentic and well, I don't know. Some people make it seem so easy to get lots of likes. I guess it all comes down to networking, right? And historically in the past, I've not really been good at networking, right? But I haven't, and that didn't start until much later in life, right? Like growing up, I was very much an introvert, and I never had a big social circle at all. I didn't have the university years of networking and stuff. I went to school, but later, like I was closer to 30 when I went back to school. And, I've also lived a lot of different places and done a lot of different careers, right? So I worked on the farm. I had an art business. Before that, going back 1,000 years, I was a typist in a law firm. Oh, my God. Probably one of the worst jobs, in the sense of just having to sit at a desk all day. That's my worst nightmare. But as far as learning administrative things, which I did in my early years, they were boring, super boring to learn Excel spreadsheets and how to manage a business. Super boring. Nothing was more boring to me in the world. Typing out invoices, oh my God. Depositions, where I just had to listen to people talk about getting run over by a Chicago bus. The bus driver purposely ran them over, and they lost their legs, and I would have to type out the depositions while everyone smoked. It was all women, and we all smoked. Those are Mad Men days, right? Everyone smoked while we were on the typing machine all day. and we just sat at our desks all day. And I used to get sent home because I wouldn't, you had to dress up. You had to wear a corporate getup, right? And I would sometimes do the upper half corporate and the lower half denim because I didn't have money, and I hated dressing in those corporate polyester. Anyway, so I would get sent home, even though I was sitting at a desk all day typing, not interacting with people, typing on a headset, smoking my cigarette in a room with 8 other girls who were sitting at a desk with their headsets on smoking, and I would get sent home because I had jeans on down below. What a waste of productivity to be sent home, because it was a whole train ride home. Anyways, I'm not going to... Those were the days, huh? Back in the... Is that the 80s? No, that was the 90s. It was the early 90s. Late 80s, right? Big hair, smoking. Diet Cokes and Marlboro Lights. Those were my afternoons. Loved it. Not anymore, though. I don't do those things anymore. So what am I saying? Yeah, I was not good at networking and being, like, out there. People just look at me now and think I'm, like, marketing maniac, right? It's kind of a newfound thing for me, and it really clicked into place when I found the thing that I love to do, which is what I'm doing now, my art business and my working for the farm, right? So when you find the thing you love to do, it's easy to talk about it with other people, right? When you find the thing you love to do, whatever it is, right? It may not be art. It could be, I see Sheila's name. It could be real estate, right? Sheila's very good at real estate, and she talks about it, right? And she supports her community in that sense, right? Things that are related to real estate are like things that are happening in the community. Restaurants, events, stuff like that, right? And I am kind of the same way. I'm here promoting the arts and the farm here locally and globally, right? So when you find the thing you love to do, it's easier to talk about it. So this all started because the guy walked by and gave me a half eye roll. In the past, he's given me like full eye roll. And it used to make me very uncomfortable, and I would get self-conscious, like, oh my God, people can see me and they're making fun of me, and I'm not a fraud and all that kind of stuff, right? Now I'm like, go ahead, roll your eyes at me, call me a fraud, because A, I know I'm not, and B, I know what I'm doing. I don't want to be an egomaniac about it, but I know what I'm doing is I'm doing good work. I feel like it's important work, because there's a lot of chaos in this world. I mean, the whole political environment is just getting crazier here in Mexico and in the U.S. and elsewhere, right? We got fascists taking over, and it's very stressful, right? It's very stressful to see what's happening politically, environmentally, socially. I mean, racially. The race conversations are louder and more frequent, but it's still stressful, right? Because it really angers some people that race is being discussed and acknowledged and ideally changed, right? And some people are really like, they don't want things to change, right? I think that's the whole MAGA movement. They just want everything to be like this disillusioned fantasy world, and anything that messes with it, they want to stop it, right? So it makes it stressful, right? So what do you do? Well, you got to find the thing that you love to do, right? Like for me, it's art and working on the farm and telling farm stories and drawing pictures and hanging out with other artists who like to draw and tell stories, right? And so whereas I used to be like, I don't know, is that really good work? I don't really know. Is that something good to be doing? Because especially coming from the place of like, oh, you got to have a real corporate job and you have to go to an office and you have to work with other corporate idiots. Pardon me if there's any corporate folks here. we all got to do what we got to do, right? I had to work in corporate for a very long time. And so even like the way with my mom was like, she was an artist, but you had to do all your work before you would have time and the luxury to do art, right? So there's this like gracias. There's this misgiven information that like making art is a luxury, and making art is something you do when all the work is done, right? Because you can't really make a living from art, and you can't really, it's not real. But I'm here to tell you it's real. I feel I'm very, very, very committed and dedicated to the principles of my practice, and how a continuous line practice makes me feel better, and it makes me more grounded. And when I'm more grounded and feel better, I'm a better person in my community. I'm able to communicate more effectively, because when you're in the chaos, it's hard to communicate, right? So when I feel better, when I'm grounded because of my drawing practice, and because of my farm practice, and because of my morning yoga practice, I feel like I'm a better citizen in my community. I'm more helpful. I'm more solid, right? And I think that is a very important thing right there, because given all the news, given all the, everything's very fractured. There's a lot of things are fractured, right? Communities, there's a lot of divisiveness, right? So it fractures things. And so when things are fractured, it's they're not as solid in their intent, right? So I feel a lot of what has happened to me in the past few years with the stress of COVID, pandemic, just the whole thing, it kind of frayed me. It sort of fractured my not my personality. I've got multiple personalities. We all do. That's not even what I'm saying here. But it frayed me in the sense of just being stressed out, right? And I think, I've seen it too. A lot of us have been stressed out just by what has happened over the past few years. Even before that, life was stressful, right? And so to have something that makes you feel more sealed, right? That's literally how I visually see it, as I see my aura being more sealed when I do the things that I love to do, like drawing, like making art, like hanging out with artists and encouraging others. I feel like my art practice has helped me to be more sovereign and more of a solid person. And let's be honest, there's a lot of not solid people right now, unfortunately, right? There's been a lot of consequences of the past few years, and maybe it hasn't all been bad. Maybe you got back to your art, maybe you're making art after not being able to for many years. But I think the neuroses of the past few years is something that we're going to have to be dealing with for a very long time. So do the thing that makes you feel solid, do the thing that makes you feel whole, do the thing that makes you feel in your body, right? Even with what my drawing practice, I'm sitting here looking at the parroquia. If I put my pen down and I just draw, that's not the parroquia, it's the little side church next to it that everyone keeps forgetting about. It's actually the older church than the parroquia, right? And so if I just draw it, I put my pen down and I draw it, and I just I follow the lines and I look at the little details, and there's a lot of details on that church. There's a clock, and then there's pointy steeple things, and when I draw all that, I really kind of detach from the noise of the day, whatever the noise is, and I just for 10, 15 minutes I focus on the detail of that church that maybe any other time of day I'm I'm scurrying by on my way to get to the next thing, so I'm not late, and so I don't disappoint people, and I'm not a failure, and I'm not a perceived fraud, right? All the things that would whatever the things that run through your head, then tell you, because we all have that, right? So so when I take time to just connect to wherever I'm at, right? Right now I'm in San Miguel. If I just take I just take 10, 15 minutes and just draw. Sit for a cup of coffee. I'm sitting in one of the prettiest places here in San Miguel. They're setting up in the Jardín. This is where they sell the flower coronas right there. See that? And so they're setting up the hanger things to sell that, the wreaths, hang the wreaths. The meat delivery trucks are going by. There's the parochia, which is, well, you can't see it because of the arches, but you see that side church. You see the nuns bringing in cookies or something like that. And there's the little church, right? And so, and all the decorations are up for Easter. Well, not Easter, but for the, what's that called? The something of Christ, the Passion of Christ, right? Because that has begun yesterday, Palm Sunday. So Jesus came in on the donkey, and so he's here now. And so for the next, today is Monday. Yeah, Easter's next week. They literally will be beating him in the streets of San Miguel for the next 5-6 days. But fret not, because on Sunday he will rise, and we're going to do it all over again, right? He will rise on Sunday, and then what they do right over here, it's kind of cool, is they blow up papier-mâché Judas, and which are usually a bunch of Donald Trumps, you know, because it symbolizes the worst people in the world. So it's a lot of Donald Trumps, and they blow them up with dynamite. Big papier-mâché Donald Trumps and politicians and wedding planners. San Miguel sees wedding planners as the worst people in the world, which is kind of funny. Real estate people. I think some celebrities, right? Honestly, it's Judas, it's Judas, right? Like the people who are perceived to be the worst person in the world. And so Donald Trump is literally at the top of that list. And wedding planners and real estate people, right? That's just kind of how it goes. AMLO's up there too, the Mexican president, and they blow them up, and it's hilarious. And we're not talking about blowing it up with like little boom. They put like dynamite in these things and just blow them to smithereens. Honestly, I don't think they use the dynamite like they used to. It's not nearly as violent or aggressive as it used to be. It used to be super, like, you would be deaf for days because the dynamite would detonate, and you would get limbs flying, and the kids run and chase underneath the big dynamite. The kids are running to get the legs and the heads, and the whole thing would explode, and the kids would scramble right under the dynamite to get the limbs. And I think now they keep the people out, because I remember there used to be kids who would lose fingers because they would like go right in. Mexico's always a little bit like, they have their own way. Like in the United States, everything is like you have, because there's been so many lawsuits, they don't let you get right into, like, go over the cliff or get under the explosion, or there's some safeguards in the United States. Mexico is more kind of like, you're on your own. If you want to get right into that dynamite, just, you're on your own. So anyways, but it's not as reckless as it used to be, because they do have a few safeguards. But what it is kind of funny is it's like the pyrotechnics professionals who are right in the people in lighting, they all have cigarettes. And they, put these dynamites right up to their faces with the cigarette and let the whole thing go. So it's actually very cool to see. It's very cool because Mexico kind of still has this sense of like, let's just do it big, right? Let's just be dangerous about it. And because we're all going to die anyways, right? There you go. There's my... so I just went off on a whole thing about San Miguel and the Easter. It's Semana Santa here. It's not Easter. They don't call it Easter. It's Semana Santa, the Saint Week, the Saint Week, and the Passion of Christ and all that. So anyways, I'm gonna finish big here with the heart, because kind of got to get back and do my Zoom class. Finish big with a heart. We're all going through something. How do I have grace for the people I can't stand, right? Like that orange. the orange monster. How do I have a little grace? I don't. I have zero grace for him. So I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. And how do I have grace for the people who anger me? I don't know. That's stuff I have to work on, right? Because I work on my communication. Sometimes I I don't beat around the bush, right? And somebody has angered me recently, and I let them know. And well, we'll see how the cookie crumbles from there, right? And but in the meantime, I'm going to go easy on myself and easy on others, because I am doing the best I can to stay afloat in this world and do the things that are important to me, continue to make a living, continue to be a good member of my community, right? So I'm going to go easy on myself and easy on others. And I hope you all do the same. And keep telling your stories, keep drawing your pictures, keep practicing that continuous line. I've been doing continuous line for 3 years. More than that, I think. I can't even remember. And it's my mantra for my life, right? Like, just keep going. Don't give up. Just keep following it, right? Follow your path. Just follow your path. Do the thing that you've been wanting to do. Do the thing that you need to do. Don't give up, right? Don't make excuses why you can't. Just because honestly, nobody cares, right? So the thing that's important to you, keep doing it. For me, it's drawing. It's working on the farm. It's growing my community, teaching my classes. I'm, going to be going out and doing some workshops in San Francisco and stuff like that. Other cities, Long Beach. And I want to do it in other cities as well. So I'm going to keep growing those efforts. And I hope you continue to do the thing that is important to you, okay? All right, everyone, have a great Monday. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you in Zoom in a little bit. And then I'll be back here in a few days. Okay, happy Easter. See you all later. Bye.